Hey there, friends. Meteorologist Shane Smith here with you. It is Monday, October 13th, 2025, and going to be Tuesday, the 14th, by the time most of y'all see this video. And we are starting off nice and dry across the bluegrass. We've had a very dry stretch of weather over the last about week or so, and no real sign of it letting up anytime soon. High pressure remains in control of our weather. You can see right now it's centered right on top of Louisiana, and there's an area of low pressure back over towards California, and that storm working up the northeast coast, that nor'easter that you've probably been hearing a thing or two about on the national weather circuit. But here in the bluegrass, it's been pretty nice. Here's your forecast for Tuesday. We're calling for a few clouds in the morning, around 47 degrees. Lunchtime, back up into the mid 60s, mid 70s for highs tomorrow across most of the state. A little bit cooler up in the northern end, but overall a sunny and dry day. And it's going to be pretty much copy and paste most of the week. It's not until we get towards the weekend where things begin to change, and they're going to be making some pretty big changes. Let's talk about how that's going to play out. And we're going to look at a map we don't normally look at. This is the 500 millibar winds. This is the winds up about 10,000 feet up into the atmosphere, about 2 miles up. And this is going to show you how things are going to evolve over the next week. So notice we are still staying in a nice ridge pattern in the East Coast. When we have ridging, that means we are typically dry. High pressure builds in, we see dry conditions. But notice this big dip in the jet stream, and I mean big time dip, out on the West Coast. That is a big trough finally starting to come down from Canada, and it will push its way eastward as we go through the week. So here we are. This is on about Thursday. We're still in the ridge. Maybe a little bit of a backdoor cold front comes in, cools us down. But then we warm right back up on Friday. And then Saturday, boom, here comes that trough again. Except this time, let me try that one more time. Here comes that trough again. And it's going to dive right into Kentucky. And as that trough moves in, we are going to see showers and thunderstorms develop Saturday evening, overnight into Sunday morning. And we already have a severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. A rare day 6 outlook, 15% chance of severe weather in far western Kentucky on Saturday. It is pretty rare for the Storm Prediction Center to put out something that far in advance. So that automatically is a red flag for me. Hey, this is one we need to watch closely. So we're actually going to look at how this storm evolves on the national scale, and then kind of take a look at how it evolves on the local scale. So you see that big area of low pressure spins up tomorrow in Southern California. In fact, we have something very rare tomorrow, but Southern California actually under a marginal risk of severe weather. There is a 2% chance of tornadoes in Los Angeles for Tuesday. That's kind of wild. That doesn't happen that often. And you'll notice heavy snow up into the Sierra Nevadas. Now that system will work its way across the Rockies, kind of gather a little bit of strength, and then dip back down as a cold front into the Ohio Valley Saturday night into Sunday. This is the GFS model. And notice all those thunderstorms blowing up Saturday night. This is about 8 o'clock Saturday evening along the Ohio River, and then pushing their way eastward Sunday morning. This is 8 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. You see they're stretching right along the Kentucky, Virginia, and West Virginia borders, according to the GFS model. And then a nice little rush of cooler air comes in for early next week. Let's see how that plays out here on the local level using the European model. Putting it into motion, we're dry Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday, we're probably going to cool things off just a smidge. Little backdoor cold front sneaking in here. Friday, ever so slight chance of a shower late in the day. Saturday, better chances of rain as that front dives in, and we will likely see a squall line of thunderstorms stretching from Cincinnati to Paducah sometime Saturday evening. I'm not going to say right now it's going to happen at 11 o'clock East Coast time like this model is showing. This is just one possibility. We got 6 days to work out the details, but likely sometime late Saturday evening or early Sunday morning, a squall line will work into Kentucky. Now, with it moving in during the evening hours, if that happens, that's a good thing for us. That'll start to sap some of the energy from the system, so it won't be as strong by the time it gets to central or eastern Kentucky. If this thing hits during the day, different story. So we got to wait and see how this plays out over the next couple of days. This is just kind of the very first look at what could potentially happen. And you see that front pushes eastward. Thunderstorms continue through Sunday morning, taper off Sunday evening, according to the European model. Now, one thing I wanted to point out from the European model, the wind on Sunday with this front, even outside of thunderstorms, starting to push 40 to 50 miles per hour. It is going to be very blustery out there. This is going to be a pretty strong fall cold front. This one may be the one that clears the leaves off a lot of trees this weekend. I know we're approaching peak color. I think we could lose a lot of those leaves this weekend as this front blows in. Also, you'll notice this is the lightning density. Now, the reason I'm showing this is the brighter those colors, typically the more intense the lightning, the more intense the storms. You'll notice, at least right now, kind of weakening as it goes across Kentucky. Fingers crossed, that's how it actually plays out, because if it plays out like that, we'll at least dodge most of the severe weather risk, but still too early to tell about that. It's something we're going to watch. The big story, though, behind this cold front is going to be the temperatures. We're going mid-70s most of the week. That backdoor cold front sneaks in here on Thursday, cools us off low 70s, upper 60s. Mid-70s Friday, Saturday, probably our last little bit of 80s for at least a day or so. Then that strong cold front, we're back to the 60s for highs Sunday and Monday. Tuesday around where we should be, and then we see another surge Wednesday, Thursday before another cold front later in the week. So the pattern's starting to shift a little bit more active. I think we're going to start to see more of those troughs coming down, and I think as long as we keep getting these big swings in the temperature, we're going to have to be on the lookout for an active severe weather season in the fall. Normally, I know things get more hectic around here in the spring, but we do sometimes have a secondary severe weather season in the fall and winter around here, and we need to be on guard for that. So, glad to be back. Had a great fall break. Pigeon Forge was a lot of fun, a lot of hectic with a 4-year-old, but Eli did mostly good. Mostly. But we had a good time. Mostly. Amanda also got sick the last day. It was an interesting trip. I'll just leave it at that. But glad to be back doing the weather. I'll have updates throughout the week. Probably going to be a little sporadic early in the week, but as we get closer to the weekend, I'll have more details about the severe weather. So be sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. We are getting so close to 2,400 followers on Facebook, and we're almost to that 500 subscriber mark on YouTube. And I'll have some shorts coming out on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook and YouTube later this week to kind of keep you updated. But for now, that's all I've got for you. Until next time, friends, I'm meteorologist Shane Smith. Take care, stay weather aware, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye now.